What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here on Untamed Opinion, bringing you another reaction. But before we get into this, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when more videos coming out, just like this one. This is brand new, so that you're up to date on all the contents, because, you know, I love the feedback. You know, I like getting subscriptions too, but you know, I love the feedback. I love the interaction. I like the comments. So leave a comment, questions, anything that you have, just leave it down below, because I always read them and everything like that. So before we get into this reaction video here, I want to preface it by saying that I'm taking just a one video break from doing music video reactions. And I happened to come across this particular video. Now, I was having a discussion about Black Lives Matter and about voter ID laws and all that stuff, and someone said you need to check out Hawk Newsome. Now, I happen to know who Hawk Newsome is, because I know that he did do a show with Candace Owens, because I happened to see a 1-minute clip a while back about it. It was a very small snippet, of course, about an hour-long conversation. Now, I'm not going to do a reaction of an hour-long conversation. But I happened to come across this particular video that they went ahead and edited, and it looks about 15 minutes long, and it looks like, you know, they got the main chunks of the conversation here throughout. So I'm really excited to hear more of this conversation, because it sounds like a really good one, because you have a person on the right like Candace Owens and a person on the left like Hawk Newsome, and it's good that, you know, to have this particular debate and hear both sides. So I know Hawk Newsome, he is involved with Black Lives Matter in New York City. To what extent, I'm not sure yet. Hopefully he says it in here. But Candace Owens is obviously very outspoken about her ideology and about her beliefs and everything like that. And I happen to be a fan of Candace Owens. I think she's on point about a lot of things. She does talk a lot about the Black community, but what she believes is to be the issues facing the Black community and how to remedy those issues in the Black community. And obviously she has different opinions and viewpoints of other Black talking heads, whether it's conservative, left, right, whatever. So I'm very excited, because this seems like it's going to be a very good debate here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Candace Owens and Hawk Newsome doing a little debate here. Let's do it.
Really excited about my guest today, who was the president, now is the chairman of Black Lives Matter in the New York chapter. And it is the most necessary conversation to have. Hawk Newsome, welcome to the Candace Owens Show.
Chairman of the New York City chapter of Black Lives Matter. Very interesting. See where this goes.
Thanks for having me, sister.
Have you ever sat across from literally Hitler?
I am now.
Right. It's a very important word.
That's it.
And I talk about this all the time, because I think the biggest problem facing the Black community is not police brutality by any regards. It's like that. If I had to make a list of 100 things that were impacting the Black community, police brutality wouldn't even be on the top 100. I think it's a scam. It's a leftist scam. Hold on, let me finish. It's a leftist scam. I truly believe it's a leftist scam. It's not helping. It's not helping them helping whatsoever, and it's actually reversing and harming our community more, because what the left does all the time is they see a new show pony that they want us to be obsessed with and looking at all the time, every 4 years, so that they can control our vote and they can make us emotional. And in 2016, it was the myth of, and when I say myth of police brutality, I mean that when you look at the rate, white men and Hispanic men are being shot down at a higher rate, not more of them, a higher rate than Black men, okay? So unless there's a Hispanic Lives Matter, so that means to me, and the timing of it is always suspicious, when all of a sudden we're supposed to be in the street protesting, it's right before election cycles, they release some information and Black people are supposed to be outraged. Our community is too emotional. Point blank, period. We have to start to be rational and say, Now, I know that right now is election cycle, and every single night on CNN, they're showing me images of Black men dying. Why would that be? Why is it that after Trump won, those images magically went away? Nobody cared about Black Lives Matter movement. I can't find CNN doing all the specials. It was like every day, prime time was a Black Lives Matter thing. Trump won, they were like, all right, bye. Then they went on to rape, and they went on to Me Too, and they went on to trying to stop this and that. And I think that that is the biggest problem in the Black community, is that we don't realize that we have been emotionally manipulated, and it's all for votes. Nobody cares.
I have said this point many times in various conversations I've had with people I know and don't know that happen to be Black, and I said a lot of this stuff verbatim, emotional exploitation. The Black community is getting emotionally exploited, and they're using the emotions of whatever topic happens to be of convenience for the Democrats, for the left. And in this particular last election cycle happened to be police brutality. And they're trying to frame it as though they're targeting Black people. And, it's like Elmer Fudd is, going after, Bugs Bunny is how cops are going after Black people, which is statistically untrue. Okay. And what she's saying there about police shooting and targeting white people and Hispanics at a higher rate than Black people is statistically true per the FBI. It is. It looks like Hawk Newsome here is going to give his say. Let's see what he's got to say. Black Lives Matter, we demand defunding of the systems that criminalize and cage us. This, and it looks like this is what's going to happen throughout this particular segment here. These are direct quotes from Black Lives Matter. These are direct quotes from their own website. These are their beliefs. We demand defunding of the systems that criminalize and cage us, aka defund the police, which is actually hurts minority neighborhoods. Do you see where we're going with this?
Listen, let me tell you something.
Do you know the names of any white or Hispanic people that were killed by police?
Do I what?
Do you know the names of any white or Hispanic people that were killed unarmed by police?
Oh my God. Len Baez.
Do I know why I'm asking you this?
Why?
If your
Anthony
issue
Baez.
is police brutality,
Yeah, Anthony
why are
Baez.
you making it? And we know for a fact that Black
Erickson
men are
Brito.
not brutalized at a
Erickson
higher
Brito.
rate than white people or Hispanic people. Why not just make it a movement about the things that go wrong in the police?
Here's the thing.
It's a valid question. It's an extremely valid question that people try to skirt around. Okay? Do you happen to know, why is it that on the news they only show cops killing a Black person or shooting a Black person or arresting a Black person? What about the white people, the Hispanic people, the Asian people, so forth and so on? Okay? It's true. Why not just make it an issue regarding police practices in general versus trying to narrow it to one race or another, and try to make something that's minuscule this big and try to make it out of a mountain of a molehill again? Because that's what the news wants to portray. That's what's sexy. That's what sells. Unfortunately, that's what sells.
When Black people get their rights, everybody gets rights. History. When we got the right to vote, everybody got the right to vote. When we were able to sit at the front of the bus, everybody was there. When we went to college, everyone went. We had a trailblazers. Not only do we set trends in culture, in music, in fashion, but also in law. Like, this is what we do. So let us kick this door in.
There is truth in what he is saying. Okay. However, he's framing it in a way that's a bit manipulative. Okay. It's saying, well, when we got the right to vote, everybody got the right to vote. Well, yeah, true. But what does that have to do with what Candace Owens' question was? Nothing. It's just a way to skirt around it. It's a way to take a truth, trying to frame it like you're answering a question, and don't even answer it. Because he didn't answer that question. Having food to maintain healthy blood sugar levels. I read the Black Lives Matter website. I don't remember that one. I don't know where they're going with this, but let's see.
Any marches? When was the last time you saw something burned
This is what
down?
bothers me. You have such a platform to hit the biggest issue facing the black community today is father absence. They broke down our families. They removed the fathers from the home. Barack Obama tells you what happens when you remove the fathers from the home. You have
Stop misinforming people.
Nope. She's not misinforming people. Barack Obama, out of all the political things I disagree with him about, he actually gave a very truthful speech on Father's Day, I want to say 2009 or something like that. It was during his tenure as president. And he said, you're 5 times more likely to be poor. If you grow up without a father in the home, you're 5 times more likely to be poor. You're 15 times or 20 times more likely to join a gang. He lists off these stats, which are true. And one of the things he said at the very beginning was, father absence is an issue. And I agree with Barack Obama on that. Father absence is an issue. And then you have Hawk Newsome saying, hey, no, don't stop misinforming people. No, she's informing. Very true.
That's informing people.
I'm not. Let me finish. How am I?
Black people.
It's father absence.
It's the food that we eat.
No.
It's the food we eat.
It's father absence.
And this is a correctable problem. It's the sugar. It's the grease. It's these fast food companies and these soda companies poisoning us. And
what did I just hear? Whoa. Candace Owens said, father absence is the biggest issue, probably the top issue facing Black America. Hawk Newsome is saying, no. It's the sugar. It's the food. It's the poison that Black people are eating. What? What? In what world is in any community, the food, the number one issue about what you eat? Because no one's forcing you to go and eat fried chicken. No one's forcing you to eat this or that, to eat this greasy food, to eat French fries. No one's forcing you to do it. That happens to be the biggest issue, Hawk? Really? My God, anybody who buys that, I feel sorry for you. I feel really sorry for you if you really buy that. If you really believe that, my God, you got some bigger issues.
Was this not only a black problem? Republicans care about health care and their tax dollars going toward that. They should put money in getting black people healthier, because all they do is poison us and promote these sugary drinks, these sugary...
I love the way Candace Owens is looking at her. She's like, are you that dumb? Like really? Because that's like the face I'm feeling. Oh my gosh. The government should be putting taxpayer money to get people healthy. It's not the government's job or responsibility to determine what food you're eating. You can go eat a salad. You can eat the healthiest foods in the world around here. Or you could go get a double bacon cheeseburger with cheddar cheese fries, damped in ranch dressing. Choice is yours. Why are you leaving it up to the government? What kind of nonsense is that? I don't know how people believe this at all. I don't know how anybody, I don't care what background, race, creed, I don't care who you are. I have no idea how anybody believes that.
And shove them down our throats, and black people walking around, their legs are swollen. My dad died on his 7th heart attack. That's what's killing us. That's the biggest form of racism.
You heard it from his own mouth. You heard it from his own mouth. The food you're eating as a black person, heck, I don't care whatever race you want to say. I don't care if you're white, Hispanic. The food you're eating is the biggest part of racism, is the biggest racism there is. Holy, oh my. I had to go to move my chair, get up out of my chair because of that, because I honestly cannot believe what I just heard. There was a scene in Billy Madison towards the end where Billy Madison gives some rambling answer, and again the guy who is doing the moderator of the debate goes, everybody is just now dumber having to listen to that. Having to listen to that, I feel like my IQ just went down 30 points. Good Lord. We demand the disruption of the Western nuclear family. That's straight from their website. Taking the father out of the home. Incentivizing the mothers to be single with children, and because they're going to give you more money. I have absolutely no doubt that's exactly what Candace is going to say, because that's exactly what this is all about.
If you want to talk about the absence of fathers, then you look at the American government putting all these fathers in jails at disproportionate rates. Black people go to jail at higher rates than white people.
That is correct. I can explain to you how that's related to father absence if you listen.
To children. And I don't mean to cut you off. I just get excited. You crazy, I'm crazy too,
everything
sister.
is related to father absence. So the one thing that they did strategically after the 50s, when LBJ came in and said, okay, he's on the record, LBJ, Democrat president, saying, you know, these have the right to vote. We have to give them something a little bit to make them think that we're helping when they're actually hurting us. So they gave us the welfare programs. What did the welfare programs do? They successfully broke down the black family. The single motherhood rate in the 1960s was at 23% in our community. The single motherhood rate today is at 74%. Barack Obama actually gave a brilliant speech talking about what father absence actually does. If you want to kill an entire community, all you have to do is remove the fathers. Okay, that kid is 20 times more likely to go to jail, 6 times more likely to drop out of high school. Everything that we're talking about here can be related back to father absence.
Took them out of it.
Thank you. This does not exclusively apply to the black community. It doesn't matter if you're white, Latin, Asian, or any color of the rainbow. You take the father out of the home, the kid, especially a male, is far more likely to not succeed in life, to actually go down the wrong path without the father in the home. Now, keep in mind, before anybody gets all in a frame, start to say, oh, why are you saying everybody? No, it's not everybody. There are plenty of people who grew up without a father that turned out great, okay? But the odds increase dramatically of dropping out of high school, joining a gang, being up in jail, end up dead at a young age because of violence. The odds of it increase dramatically when a father is removed from the home, or a father, whether by choice, because he committed crime, he has to go to jail, for whatever reason, the father's not in the home. And it goes for any community. But what she said is true. In the 1960s, about 25 or so percent. 2015, 2016? Wait, it's about 73, 75, 4% what she said. You gotta understand what happened. The welfare system actually hurt when people thought it was helping, and it wasn't.
The welfare system actually created initiative to women. We will give you more money. It's true. This is not a myth.
How did they enforce it? How did they enforce it?
They
incentivized it. I grew up in
this. They incentivized it.
You know they would do pop-up.
This is why they're having 5, 6, 7 kids, and because they want more. They want more money.
They would do pop-up
to make sure the guy doesn't
to make sure that the men were out of the home.
Yes.
Now, who did this? Who did this?
Whose policies were this?
Whose were they?
Who are the people that are fighting?
Whose were they?
LBJ and the Great Society Act.
Okay, and what country?
What do you mean, what country?
What country did this happen? In America.
Yeah.
So
you're agreeing with me.
So these
when
are
you talk about
systems.
Black Lives Matter, talk about putting fathers back in the home.
You think people don't, sis?
No, I really don't.
You think people don't?
Like
this happens consistently.
I don't know where Hawk Newsome is getting the idea that Black Lives Matter, the movement, is actually anything that is trying to put fathers back in the home, or trying to keep fathers in the home, or trying to help fathers become better fathers, because it's doing the complete 180 in the other direction. Remove the father, things start to happen. Take care of your home first. what was it that Denzel Washington, he was asked a question about how can the black community move forward, how can they succeed in everything. And I think it was Morgan Freeman as well, but Denzel Washington said, it all starts in the home. Everything starts in the home. 100%. It starts in the home. Period. We demand reparations, really. This is... I gotta hear this one.
What do you have to lose? Finally, kept it real. You're losing. What do you have to lose? On the other side, Democrats, we're going to give you more. The Black Caucus stood and applauded more food stamps. The welfare system is harming the black community. Strategically, it was oppressive. It was oppressive when it came into shape.
You got this.
No.
You got this.
It was oppressive.
She's admitting that oppression exists. She's admitting.
I have said
Newsome is a
1,000 times,
man.
Black people, you get in the room, they'll tell you Republicans are racist. I'm like, the Democrats created every oppressive system that we talk about when we say, oh, prisons, blah, blah, blah. That's because it follows me from the home. Oh, food stamps, welfare, blah, blah, blah.
What if the Republicans, okay, where have the Republicans failed black people?
That they haven't done anything to correct it.
Bingo. The Democrats created the problem and created one problem after another. And the Republicans have never tried to correct it. And the moment that Trump in office, whether you like him or not, is irrelevant, he was trying to make a lot of those corrections. And the biggest problem with the Republican Party is that they need these issues to stump on. They're no angels themselves. But it's true what Candace Owens just said about the Republicans. They didn't try to correct it.
Right? Not only did the Republicans give up around the 1960s on getting the black vote, but they have actively sought to oppress the black vote.
Okay, so
you look at most of these the voting issues. You look at voter suppression, right? And it's Republicans behind this. Now, you said if I was right, you'd admit it.
No, I'm just asking you to explain it further because I want people that are hearing you to hear.
Their laws like you have to do 3 black flips, 2 somersaults, and a moonwalk.
You mean have an ID?
Yeah, an ID.
So do you think black people...
In this day and age, do you really have to do 3 somersaults, 2 backflips to get an ID? He says you have to do all that just to get an ID if you're black, but you don't if you're any other race? Did I hear that correctly?
Ask you a question. Do you think black people are too stupid to get a driver's license?
Why would you call black people?
Because to me, I'm offended that people call that.
Black.
No, I'm asking you something.
Black.
I'm asking you something. I'm offended when people say to me that oppresses us. I'm like, I don't know a single black person that doesn't have ID. You can't drive. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't buy alcohol. Don't think we're so stupid that we can't figure out how to get ID. It's insulting to call that voter suppression.
Okay.
Thank you. You can't do all these things without an ID. But yet you're making excuses as to, but Hawk is trying to make excuses as to why a person, a black person, can't seem to get an ID, not a driver's license, not even a driver's license, an ID.
Okay,
black people can't figure out how to get ID. We have a way bigger problem. We're not that stupid. I will not accept that we're too stupid to get ID. I don't know a single. I got cousins that live in the projects. Everybody has ID. You can't work without ID. You can't work without ID.
I get it. Yes,
you can. Work.
Yes,
you can't work unless you're working under the table. You got to have some form of ID when they run your social security number and all that stuff. You have to give them something to work.
It's called E-Verify. You have to have some form of picture government issued ID in order to go through the E-Verify system. It's called an I-9, one from column A, one from column A, and then one from either B or C. And it has some kind of picture ID on there. It's an I-9, right? A school ID. But in order to get a school ID, you still have to register at the school. And what do they want? They want an actual ID. Come on. And it's true. There are people who work without ID because they're working under the table. That is 100% true. But that is just, I mean, that's so minuscule that it's, come on. It is insulting to say that in this day and age, with the technology and everything that we have at our fingertips, that a person cannot get an ID. Really? It is completely insulting. I don't care what race, I don't care what background, it is completely insulting.
No, actually, you don't. You just go in there, you give them a social. You don't have to have your physical
Yes, you do. They
social
have to make a
security
copy
card.
of it. They have to make a
No,
copy
they
of it.
don't.
Not your social security card,
What
of your
world
ID.
do you live in? Do you live amongst
So
these
you're
people?
telling
You do. You do. Hawk Newsome apparently has never ever hired an individual, never has gone through the E-Verify system in his life. Oh, man.
This is why people call you names. You speak sometimes, and I'm saying this from a very earnest place. You talk like a person who hates black people.
No, I'm talking like if I was your mother, you need to get up off your ass and get an ID.
Listen.
This is one of the reasons why I love Candace Owens. She's not putting up with this bullcrap. She's not putting up with the fake narrative. She's not putting up with it. She's like, I'm gonna talk to you like I'm your mother. Oh, God bless you, Candace.
Need that. We need a little more people telling us to get up off our asses and do stuff. We need to stop being handed excuses and start being told, you know how to do this. Figure out what you need to do. You are a American. It's not hard. You got Google now. Mm-hmm. How can I get my ID? Okay. You cannot objectively say that you think that Republicans have done more harms to black than Democrats. Can you?
This is the problem, my sister.
But I want to know.
You see Hawk Newsome's reaction? He can't defend it. He can't rattle off facts and anything regarding history to disprove what she's saying. Because what Candace Owens is saying is true. He's like, oh, you see what the problem is? No, like Candace is taking Hawk Newsome to task here. And it's so fun to watch. Dear Black Lives Matter, you do realize that ending all immigrant deportations, illegal immigrants from being deported, is actually hurting the black community. But I still stand by that you actually don't care about the black community. You don't. Black Lives Matter, the movement, does not. They have yet to do one single thing. This proves it. These are quotes from their actual website, from their beliefs, from their philosophy, if you will. Illegal immigration hurts the black community the most. And yet they want to end deportation? Come on, do your own homework.
First off, we're talking about the black community. I don't want to talk about illegal immigrants because until the black community is fixed, I do not care on the record about a single illegal immigrant. You want me to care about a child separated from its mother at the border because their mother was doing something illegal and got caught? Does anybody cry when black parents get locked up and they have to be separated from their children for years? Okay, so stop. You can miss me entirely with the illegal immigrant argument.
I do.
Especially because illegal immigration negatively impacts who, first and foremost? Black men between the ages of 18 and 21. So asking the black community to stand up for illegal immigrants is like asking me to take a shovel and dig my own grave. Not doing it, okay? Won't do it. We'll give no focus to illegal immigrants until the 3.9 million black kids that are in poverty are brought above the poverty line. I would like to see a system where we stop allowing Mexicans, because they are geographically positioned, to sprint into this border and demand rights and get on welfare. There are so many people in Africa via a merit-based system who are more than worthy of having an American citizenship. Those numbers are so low because of illegal immigration, and they're coming and jumping over the border. So I'm actually very pro merit-based African countries, people that are trying to be doctors. I'm sick of this rate of 2% that come from Africa every year. So that's actually the biggest reason I support the wall, is because I don't think we have enough African immigrants in this country.
100% true.
MAGA hat in the
And
projects.
you are a walking MAGA hat.
Bob, you called me a walking MAGA hat. You called me. That's really funny.
It is. It's,
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
like, what's so bad about socialism?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a socialist. What's so bad about
See,
socialism?
and this is the thing
Well,
I talk
I
about.
just wanna
The
know.
black community's got to
I
understand
just wanna
economics.
know. I just want to know.
Let's see. It's killed 100 million people in the last 100 years. Okay, it's been tried on every continent in the last 100 years, and it just ends in people dying in communism. It's being tried actively right now in Venezuela. People are fleeing Venezuela. The average citizen has lost 18 pounds.
You know what?
But hey,
You know.
Cuba, it's been Venezuela. Cuba still currently, Venezuela currently. North Korea, well, it's a dictatorship. It's a complete dictatorship. Vietnam, you want me to keep going? It's been tried. China right now. China is more of a dictatorship, but it's hardcore socialism / dictatorship over there in China. It's been tried. And every time, disaster. Every time people die. Every single time. Do you need to go to Cuba? I've been to Cuba twice. My wife is from Cuba. My in-laws are from Cuba that came here 2 years ago. It's sad. Socialism kills. It kills lives physically, mentally. It destroys people's lives. Socialism is the worst, one of the worst, and socialism is just one of the, it's kind of like that bridge into totalitarianism and to authoritative, to full authority of the government, to communism. It's just that gap. It's just that bridge. It's that gateway.
let's try it in
You're
America.
right.
Let's
You're
try
right.
it in America.
You're right. You know. The reality of it is, if it's triggering and it's traumatic and it's symbolic of 400 years of oppression, then it should be done away with. No one has effectively addressed the oppression of black people in this country to date, and this is what we are doing at this table.
So this, I believe, I mean, this is really where I stand. I believe the black community can do it without government handouts. I'm insulted by the insinuation that black people aren't smart enough to figure out how to get ID. I think we're overly sensitive.
You're harping on that.
Hold on. I'm not. I think
Because
we're
I stayed
overly
away from
sensitive.
politics
You're
when
right.
I was speaking.
But I'm just saying, I believe we're overly sensitive, and that because we are overly sensitive, our emotions are able to be harnessed by people that just want political advantage over others. And that is why we are seeing people that are demonized and called racist. And if we don't start to think clearly and set aside emotion and have conversations, and this is really what Black Values just conferences. We talk about abortion. We talk about all these different
What's
issues.
Brexit?
The black exit.
From what?
The left, Democrat Party.
And going where?
Independent. On your mark, get set. Hawk Newsome's 2 minutes.
We are one, and as one society, we'll never be okay unless the least of us is okay. We can't leave people behind. There's no reason that the value of $1 should be worth more than the value of a human life. I'm not saying that people shouldn't achieve whatever they want in life, but there shouldn't be people starving in America. There shouldn't be hunger in America. And for God's sakes, there shouldn't be racism in America. People have the opportunity now to stop playing games with systemic oppression and really eradicate it. You eradicate it through institutions. You improve our schools in a real way. If you want black people to stop, quote unquote, relying on the government, then you teach them how to fish instead of giving them fish. If you want peace in our communities, then you empower those organizations that are doing peace work and employing ex-gang members to go in there and mediate differences. And I'd say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I live by two codes. I live by the Bible and the Constitution, and I believe that both of them are the foundation to a bigger, a beautiful, a more beautiful, a better America, we can do away with our past once and for all. That's why it keeps coming up, because we've never done away with it officially. We can do away with our wretched, cursed past, and we can build a beautiful future. I invite all of you to do that with me.
I mean,
okay, let me give you my final thoughts. Hawk Newsome really believes that black people are oppressed. Even today in 2021, that black people are just oppressed, and we can't seem to do it for ourselves, and we need all this kind of help. Last time I checked, there are people of every race in every position imaginable here in the United States. We had a 2-time elected black president. We currently have a black vice president. We've had a black defense secretary. We've had a black secretary of state. We've had a black DOJ. We have black police chiefs. We have black lawyers, black judges. Everywhere up and down the spectrum, we have people of every creed, of every nationality here in the United States. Do you want to know the most successful group by race are Asian Americans. The second are Indian Americans. One of the main reasons why they're so successful is because of the family structure, because of the discipline, and because they value education so highly. And the reason why they're successful is because they're not going out there and trying to blame other people or blame other races or cry out racism or whatever. I think it was Morgan Freeman that was asked a question: how do we get past racism? How do we get past it? And Morgan Freeman replied, stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Stop believing you're so oppressed, because you're not. Nobody in this country is oppressed. Nobody in this country is stopping you from doing what you want to do, regardless of regardless of your gender, your race, your skin color, what language you speak. I don't care. Nobody's stopping you from doing what it is you want to do. Listen, leave your questions, comments, anything you have down below, because I can talk about this for forever, but it's already about 38 minutes here until the reaction. So, and I don't want to make it any much longer here. But Candace Owens completely destroyed Hawk Newsome in this, because she uses factual based arguments, while Hawk Newsome uses complete emotional arguments in emotions to try to make his arguments valid. Facts, emotions. There's a saying: facts don't care about your feelings. All right, what did you think? Did you think somebody won? Did you like one side better than the other? Let me know. Until then, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Peace out.